Okay, we have Northwestern up on the podium. We have head coach Chris Collins. We have grad guard Buie. We have grad guard Ryan Langborg. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach. Then we'll go to questions for the student athletes. We'll dismiss them to get them back to the locker room, which is open at this time. And we'll go to questions for Coach. We have the microphones. Just raise your hand. We'll get them to you. But, Coach, if we can start with an opening statement.
Yeah, congratulations to UConn. They're a championship-level program. We knew that coming in. We got off to a really poor start, which you can't dig yourself that kind of hole. We talked about that coming into the game. I thought we missed some shots around the rim early, and it kind of got us off kilter a little bit. And uncharacteristically, they ran out on us. We've been a pretty good transition defensive team this year, but I thought some of our missed opportunities offensively kind of affected how we were getting back. And they had 28 points in the paint in the first half, which out of 40, and so, you're down 22 at half. And the one thing though is I was just really proud about how our guys, I'm not surprised, but I was just really proud about how we fought the rest of the night. A lot of teams might lay down, when you get down by 28 or 27, whatever it was. And that's just not who these guys are. We fought for, 33 or 34, whatever we played games this year, and this was a really special team to coach. Everything that was thrown at them, the injuries, the curveballs, the adversity, and guys, listen, it wasn't our night tonight, but every team except for one is going to feel like us, in the NCAA tournament. That's what it's about. And unfortunately for us, that night was tonight. We ran into a team that outplayed us, a better team, and we move on. But it doesn't diminish at all what these guys have meant, what this team has meant, not only to me and our staff, but to our program. And I'll go to questions first, but I said it to the guys after, like when I walked out into the Barclays Center floor before the game, and I saw that environment in that building, this place being sold out, with a ton of Northwestern fans, a ton of UConn fans, the buzz, a second round game in the NCAA tournament. It just made me be in awe of these guys even more. Like, look what they've done for our program. The fact that we're playing in these games now, and we got a chance to do that last year, and we've now done it again this year. And, we'll get over the hump. We'll get over the hump. You can only get over the hump by putting yourself back in that position and figuring out a way to get it done. And it's all because of these guys. They led the way all year. I've loved coaching this team as much as any team I've ever coached, and I'm just really sad that there's no more games with this group.
Take questions for the student athletes. We'll start here in row 2. Our first 2 questions will come here in row 2.
David Gold, Inside the New Boo. What has being a Wildcat meant to you?
It means the world, It's just, it's bigger than today's game. It's just more so that I won't be able to ever put the uniform on again. But I can say that I'm proud of, what we've been able to do this season and last season. Coach and I have really been building this since I was a freshman. So, just looking back on this year and all the adversity we got through and, to still persevere and, make it to the NCAA and get past the first round and, play number 1 UConn. I just got to have a lot of gratitude, despite the loss. But the university itself has just shown me so much love and support. And I know I'm going to always come back to Evanston and, people are going to welcome me. And it's because that's my family.
We'll stay in that same row. Go ahead.
Bradley Locker, Inside NU. But when you walked off the floor with about a minute left, we saw you and Coach Collins have a long embrace. What was kind of said between the two of you guys, and what was that moment like for you?
Yeah, we were just talking about, our relationship, how we got the program back to back, and everything that we talked about building, we were able to do, and it was because of each other, and everybody else inside the locker room, the other coaches, the players, but just the belief that we had in one another, and to be able to just continue to grow our relationship and our friendship that will last forever and ever. I'm always come back and see Coach or, stay in touch with Coach and, make sure he's good. but this place is just super special to me.
We'll go the other side of the aisle. We're staying in row 2. Go ahead.
For Ryan, you came in this season as a transfer. This is now the last game of your college career. How does Northwestern fit into the picture of your career? What did this night mean for you as well?
Yeah, I mean, obviously not the way that we wanted to end it off, but I mean, these guys next to me and the rest of the team, I'm beyond grateful for the opportunity they've given me to come in here and contribute. And I feel like what we did this year is really special on the court, but also off the court. I mean, we're all brothers for life, and so I just want to thank Northwestern for everything.
We'll stay on that same side, row 1.
Hi, Cher Taylor, New York Beacon. So after halftime, it seems like you guys were really pushing, got steals coming back. What was it like at halftime in the locker room, encouragement-wise?
Start with Boo, and then we'll go to Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we just struggled in the first half, and at halftime we were just basically saying like, settle down and come out here and fight. We were down a lot at that point, but we just looked at it as if it was 0-0. We knew that we weren't going to quit because that's just not us. And if we're going to lose, you're going to have to, just beat us. And so that was the talk at halftime, and I think that we did a good job coming out in the second half and having better energy, but it wasn't enough. We didn't get off to a great start.
Yeah, just echoing Boo. I mean, taking the second half by 4-minute periods, try to win every 4-minute period you can, and hopefully we could walk them down, but it didn't go our way.
We're coming back to this side, row 3 on the end.
Tom Merriam, AP Radio. Ryan, what enabled UConn to get out to that big lead so quickly, and is it that much tougher against a team like that to believe you can come back?
Yeah, I mean, I think what's special about our group is no matter who we're playing, no matter what the deficit is, we still have the same belief in each other no matter what. Obviously, it was a difficult situation, but yeah, I mean, we came out and I think we had to be more physical to start the game, and we gave up too many easy buckets inside, which obviously ended up doing us in, but no, I just grateful for these guys, and I'm glad that we battled back the way we did in the second half.
Last question for the student athletes. We're on row 4 and right in front of me.
Jake Epstein, the Daily Northwestern. Ryan, a few weeks back you said that Northwestern surpassed all your expectations. What did you expect when you came into the program, and what has your time at Northwestern meant to you?
Yeah, I mean, when I stepped foot on this campus on my visit, I instantly knew I fell in love with the guys, the coaches, the way Northwestern plays, and then I grew to love the school as well. The fans were unbelievable this year, so I mean, it's another home away from home. And I didn't know how the grad year was going to go. You don't know what to expect going into it. So when I say it surpassed my expectations, it's because, like I said, these are my brothers, and it is another home.
All right. Boo, Ryan, you are excused. We appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you.
Congratulations on great careers. Take questions for Coach Collins. We're going to start here in row 1 right in front of me.
Hey, Chris, Annie Kosovo from the Chicago Sun-Times. How much were you dreading taking Boo out for the final time?
Yeah, I mean, it was, I was hoping it would last a few more games. I knew the time would come. It's been a special journey. He mentioned it, just he and I, the bond you have with your point guard, the ups, the downs, the frustrations, the joys. We've become very close through all that. And, I'm just thankful for him. I mean, he's now set the standard. He's the GOAT, in my opinion. I mean, for our program, he is. I mean, for what he's done, not only with the records, not only, but the legacy as a winner, but just the credibility that he's helped give our program. Just like I talked about earlier, coming into this building and having an opportunity to play in these high-level games. It's a big, reason was his belief and his fight and his will to kind of fight through a couple lean years early and get to the other side. So I'm really sad that I won't get to coach him anymore, but I know that there's a friendship there that's going to be really long-lasting.
We'll stay here in row 1, right in front of me.
Hey, Chris, Ryan Morrick here with Fox News. To piggyback off of that, what did that ovation mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping that would be the case. I mean, he's he's been so good, you know, and even the last month, you know, I was really heartbroken for him that we couldn't come into this thing full strength, because I wanted him to deserve the opportunity to really go for I really believed when we had all our guys that we were a second weekend team and maybe even more. But that's not the hand we were dealt, and there's no excuses. And for us to keep fighting and figure out a way to come here and win that first round game and put ourselves in position to play a championship team like UConn in this building, in this environment, you know, I wanted to get him out of the game so he could get that ovation, because that's what he deserves. That's how much he's meant to this program.
Come the other side, we're staying in row one on the aisle.
Yeah, Chris, I know it's an emotional time, but just having played this Connecticut team and seen them up close, what is it going to take for someone to beat them? And can they won 6 games by an average of 20 points last year. Could they do that again, do you think?
They're really good. You know, the thing about it is there's not a whole lot of weaknesses. You know, usually when you play a team, you know, you study film and you say, well, maybe these 2 guys, we can help off them a little bit, or, you know, we can do some things here to spend, like, you know, they were able to do against us defensively. And so you can't do that with them. They got 5 guys who can all score. They're very athletic. I was very impressed in person with their defense. I mean, I knew how prolific they were offensively, but seeing in person their attention to detail defensively, you know, their rotations, sticking on Buie, sticking on Langborg, making it hard on our guys. You know, Donovan in the you know, having 8 blocks and his presence in the lane. You know, they have all the ingredients, you know, to win another championship. There's no question about it. Obviously, the tournament, you got to bring it every night. But Danny is such a good coach. I mean, I have so much respect for him, what he's built there. I've talked about it the last couple days. You know, I think he and I are a lot alike in a lot of ways, the way we do things and how we coach and how we see the game. And, you know, I know he's going to have those guys ready. You know, I know how he's wired. So it's, to answer your question, a team's going to have to play really, really, really well to beat them.
We'll stay on that same side in row 2.
Matt Shelton, Wildcat Report. Coach, you had long embraces with Buie, Brooks, and Ryan. What was your message to each of those guys as they're coming off the floor for the last time this season?
You know, mostly gratitude and thanks. I mean, I'm not the one out there playing. They are. They're the ones out there battling. They're the ones out there throwing themselves into the fire and making plays and, you know, defending and fighting and battling. And, you know, I was the lucky one that got a chance to coach this team, you know, and hopefully help guide them in the right direction and let them go out there and what all those guys did this year was just special, man. I mean, you know, we've talked about Buie, but, you know, for Ryan to come in as a grad transfer and to the seamless transition he made to our team and how big he was for us and how much we needed him and that he delivered. And the step that Brooks made this year, you know, Brooks went from being a good player to a great player, you know, and that's really fun for a coach to watch. And, you know, I know for him moving forward now, you know, with a guy like Buie, you know, even taking on more of a leadership role, and, you know, he wants to do that, but just to see his development and his growth this year to become an all-league player, and, you know, I just love coaching this team. They were so tough and so together, and they fought, and they gave me everything they had. And when you're a coach, that's all you really ask for. You just want your team to give you everything they got. And this team did that. They emptied the tank, guys. They maxed it out. You know that. You watched it out there. This team maxed. We maxed every ounce out of what we had. And I'm really proud of this group. And this team will hold a special place in my heart forever.
We got time for 2 more. We're going to go 1 in the second row, and then we're going to go to the 4th row.
Bradley Locker, inside on you. Coach, you talked about the injuries you dealt with throughout the season. What would you say you learned about yourself as a coach making it back to the NCAA tournament, even with those challenges?
I don't know. I mean, it's a good question. I think you're always learning about yourself. I mean, you know, I think the thing that I've always been is a fighter. I mean, you guys cover me all the time. I mean, I'm just whoever we got, let's go out there and fight, and let's try to figure it out. And I thought our team carried that personality out to the floor. I really did every night. That's why we were so close. You know, I thought our personalities aligned, you know, with the way things are going. But I think you're always evolving as a coach. You're always learning. You're always finding ways you can be better. You know, how can you motivate better? How can you coach better? How can you teach better? You know, and that's the ongoing, mission as a coach. You always feel like there's more you can learn and there's more you can do to help your guys be at their best. So it's hard for me to answer that right now because we just got out of the fight. But, usually when the dust settles and you have time to kind of reflect and you look back, I always kind of self-criticize or self-rate hey, what are the things I did really well? And then what are the things I need to be better at as we move forward?
Last question's in row 4, this side, in front of me.
Yeah, you shared all during Northwestern. Coach, you mentioned that late run. I guess how is that reflective of the overall season? And I guess what does it mean to you that the team was able to kind of claw back in some fashion even when things weren't going their way in the first few minutes?
Yeah, we talked about it. We brought that up in the huddle, I think, with 12 minutes to go or whenever it was. I forget when the huddle. We were down 28, and we just said, this year has been too special. This year has been too good. We've fought so hard. We're going to fight to the finish. And it's not about the score right now. It's about the standards of this program and the culture that was created this year and last year. These last couple years, the standard that's been created for how we fight, how hard we play, and if we're going to go down, that's how we're going to go down. And I'm not surprised that the guys finished the last 12 minutes the way they did because that's who they've been all year long.
Coach, we appreciate you taking the time.
All right, appreciate you guys. Thanks for covering us.